the Sabres have so much organizational dysfunction that if they do not get out of Jarmo's way, for lack of a better term, this may not be the solution either.
It has happened. Kevyn Adams, per the Buffalo Sabres, has been relieved of his duties as general manager. Would like to thank Kevyn for his Terry Pegula. Jarmo Kekäläinen, new GM of the Sabres. Sean, what are you smirking at?
It's just funny. That like it was
man lost his job. That's so funny.
That part's not funny. Kevyn Adams, I hope the post Sabres life treats you well.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this was inevitable. It's been the second they hired Jarmo Kekäläinen for whatever his title used to be, this was inevitable.
Yeah, that's always such an awkward situation when they bring in someone as like a senior advisor, and it's like very clearly that person is more qualified for the job, is gunning for the job, will probably get the job. Just it is a running clock. Where are you in terms of like overdue? I mean, good to do it now.
It's obviously overdue. It shouldn't. Kevyn Adams should not have started this season as the general manager. And like I've said, I think on several occasions that like I think by comparatively to like the rest of the Sabres fan base, very not protective, but like a Kevyn Adams apologist to I think certain people. Like I think he's been maybe critiqued more than he deserves. And I think he's done good in a lot of instances, especially considering the circumstances he has found himself in. What's that?
Paterka trade.
The Paterka
did a
trade,
really good job.
Like he did a really good job on that. I think they've made some decent draft moves. I think like even the Eichel trade, it's like actually now I might be getting my timelines messed up. But regardless, like I think Kevyn Adams has done a generally a pretty solid job. Considering the circumstances, considering a GM or an owner who refused to hire a president of hockey operations because that's his job, and he was also clearly more focused on the Buffalo Bills and their stadium and stuff like that. So, like, I've been maybe a bigger defender of Kevyn Adams than most people. That being said, when the team has performed the way the team has and has looked the way it has over this 5.5 years of Kevyn Adams, that guy has to go, especially when there is no one above him other than the owner. So it is what it is. It was inevitable.
Yeah,
he did make the Eichel trade.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I think even that one, all things considered, like you got two guys who are full-time NHL players out of it. You had zero leverage in the situation. Would you like to have a superstar on the team still? Like, respect to Tage, but like, sure. But I think considering the circumstances, he did about as well as he could have. But not well enough.
I don't know if he did about as well as he could have. And I think there were a lot of instances which proved that he is not a savvy general manager.
Yeah,
I think that he had a lot of missteps.
Not a good GM.
Yeah, a lot of missteps. He probably didn't deserve to be named GM in the first place. Seems like he was very much a yes man for the Pegulas, and that got him the job.
And kept him the job.
And I think that it kind of speaks to what I said earlier today when we were talking about the potential of this happening. There is a widespread organizational dysfunction within the Buffalo Sabres that doesn't entirely fall at the feet of Kevyn Adams and what he's done as general manager, but he's part of that organizational dysfunction in the fact that he held that position in the first place. And I just don't think there were enough people in leadership positions over the past several years to check Kevyn Adams or to check anybody really. Like there were just not enough people in leadership positions to get this thing on the right track.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that he's incompetent, but like, for lack of a better term, like incompetent person, incompetent. Like whose fault is that?
Yeah,
really?
And that's kind of always been my thing is that like ultimately, what did you want Kevyn Adams to do? He got offered the job and he got offered extensions. Is he supposed to say, no, I'm not good enough? Like, of course he's going to keep that job for as long as he can and do what he is capable of doing, which clearly was not a whole lot. Like, I want to make it very clear. Kevyn Adams absolutely needed to go and was not a good GM. I just don't know how much of the full-scale failure of the Buffalo Sabres over whether it's these last 5.5 years or obviously the last 14 years, most of which Kevyn Adams wasn't a part of. Like, that's not ultimately Kevyn Adams' fault. There is just, he was underqualified for the position to begin with. did not have the resources to get good at the job. Like the hiring of Jarmo, even if he was just going to stay an advisor, came several years too late. Not Jarmo in particular, obviously, because he had his own job, but like of somebody of that kind of caliber and experience. And again, at the end of the day, they've lost a fuck ton of games and have not made significant roster moves to change that. And that's the general manager's job.
I also think, like, I believe in Jarmo as a good general manager. I think his body of work in Columbus was very, very good. And he's well respected. I think that he is the right man for this job. I'm excited that he's back in the driver's seat. But again, the Sabres have so much organizational dysfunction that if they do not get out of Jarmo's way, for lack of a better term, this may not be the solution either. Like, I hope that Jarmo is put in a position to succeed. I hope that they've learned about themselves over the past handful of years in the way that this has gone, that they allow him to make some decisions. They allow him to put his own people in place. And you read a report that came out right after the fact that was saying maybe this isn't the end of changes in Buffalo. There might be more to come. I wonder if that extends to Lindy Ruff in allowing Jarmo to choose his own guy.
I mean, it has to. Whoever is telling that reporter, and apologies, I forget who.
It's Jeremy from WGR. So
okay.
I don't know.
Whoever, if it's somebody from the team that's saying, hey, there's more stuff coming, and it's not a head coaching change, shouldn't have said there's more stuff coming. Because now you're putting it out there like, okay, this is going to be an overhaul, which the team obviously needs. Not necessarily like, usually when everything has gone to shit with the team, you're like, everyone needs to go. It needs to be like, roster needs to be turned upside down and everything. Like this still, I think like we're all in agreement. The roster just needs to be better supplemented. The roster doesn't need to be completely overturned. And like, if anything, I know these are unrelated, but like, it's hard not to think of the Quinn Hughes situation and Jarmo coming in. It's like your job is to make sure that does not happen with Rasmus Dahlin and with Tage Thompson, as it has already happened. Yep. You weren't there for it, but as has already happened with this specific franchise.
Yeah, the list is they need to supplement the roster. They need to fill the gaps. They need to change the culture. They need to change the culture of the Buffalo Sabres, and they need to... Why are you shaking your head?
No, they've needed to change the culture for 14 fucking years. And like, that's not like... And that's ultimately my thing. Was what you kind of started with this with is that like, I don't think Jarmo was the answer. I don't think Jarmo is going to fix this. Like ultimately, I think a lot of the problems that this team have are directly, at the very least, correlated to when Terry Pegula took over the team, and that's not changing. So unless Terry Pegula has had this like massive awakening and is like, you know what, I'm truly going to get the fuck out of Jarmo's way. I'm going to let him operate as basically the president of hockey ops or whatever. If that's happening, then maybe this is the difference. But nothing over the last 14 years or since Terry has bought the team has suggested that that's the way this is going to operate. So I have no confidence that this is going to change anything. I agree that firing Kevyn Adams was the right move, but whether he keeps Lindy, gives Lindy a little bit of time, and then replaces Lindy tomorrow, like, I don't think any of that is going to ultimately change what the Buffalo Sabres are culturally, who they actually are as a roster, which, like, as we said, I don't think is inherently a bad roster, but certainly is not a good roster. Like, it needs to be supplemented, as DJ said.
Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, it's a good roster.
You know who's really...
You said that nothing's changed. That is very false in the sense that you cited earlier on today's episode that this is the first time in the Pegula era that they've hired a general manager who has general manager experience.
I mean, yeah, that's absolutely true. It is definitely a difference, and I think it could be a signifier that Terry is kind of his eyes have been awoken to maybe some of his missteps in the past. But I just the greater body of evidence suggests that that's not going to happen because it hasn't happened at any point over Terry's tenure with either, quite frankly, the Sabres or the Bills. Like the Bills have plenty of their own issues that have led to them not fully capitalizing on like the Josh Allen era and stuff like that. And I think, again, that's a product of who Terry Pegula is as an owner. But yeah, I mean, I think like it could be the difference.
It's a good day in Sabres history.
Yeah.
Like
it's a step in the right direction.
Right. I think it's a sign of a potential shift.
Yes.
And that's what the Sabres need. I just had very, very little confidence in that team, in that organization, by staying the course.
Yeah, staying the course was quite obviously not the answer. And so I am going to view anything that's a change as a step in the right direction. I'm just not going to sit here and be like, they finally have figured it out. Because you clearly haven't been watching Buffalo Sabres hockey for the last 2 decades if you think any one move is the answer.
What gives me
It's
so
like
much
buying
hope
a gym
here.
membership and being like, nice, I finally
I'm
have
in
made a
shape now.
decision to change. I got a gym membership.
Yeah.
What gives me so much hope here is not just Jarmo's resume, it's that he is not cut from the Sabres cloth. Like, they keep going back to the well with Sabres people and like keeping it in the family. This is not an organization that like can keep doing that or should keep doing that based off of the franchise history.
No,
There's
I
not
agree.
enough there to be like, we're keeping this in the family. So if you're letting Jarmo do his job, he is not going to be tied to the history of the Buffalo Sabres.
However, and I like Jarmo. I think we all think that Jarmo is a good GM. You say, okay, sweet, you are solving the Buffalo Sabres problems by bringing in the Columbus Blue Jackets guy. And to that, I would say, if I'd have to look back at when these players left, but like, I bet Jarmo wanted to keep Panarin.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to keep
the
Bob,
retention
like,
issue.
Made like good, like had built good rosters there, but whether it was ownership not wanting to spend or just like some players want to be in different markets or bigger markets, but like, I don't think that any of the roster issues, like you said, like the being able to keep players, I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think that was a general manager thing.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but yeah, that was the story in large part of Jarmo's tenure in Columbus. He could get good players. He could not keep good players.
Yeah.
And I don't
good
know how
players
much
has
of that
been
is Columbus. I don't know how
Buffalo
much
thing.
of that carries over to Buffalo, but
I mean, keep it like I would say the most important thing the Sabres can do right now is have the key pieces that they have committed and thinking, like almost like the Canucks thing, where like once you think this sucks, this isn't going anywhere, then before long, the players turn from solutions to problems themselves. And not to say like that Rasmus Dahlin or Tage Thompson would ever be throwing fits, but I think like if they don't feel that they're in a good situation, obviously that's going to make its way into how they lead. So like I would say task number 1 is make these players feel like this is where they want to be.
what's interesting here too is that this team is not currently out of it.
No one is.
They are last place in the Atlantic Division, but they are 7 points from the top of the division with 50 games left to play.
They've won 3 straight.
They've won 3 straight. They're one of the hottest teams in hockey right
And
now.
honestly,
We have a new hottest team in hockey. It's the Buffalo Sabres.
and honestly, like I wonder how that plays into like I think I and many Sabres fans are reading in between the lines or however you want to put it that like Lindy's on his way out. That Lindy is clearly not a Jarmo guy, and then people jump to Torts, whatever. But like the Sabres keep winning games, you're not going to fire that coach. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm interested to see how like Jarmo, how he interacts with some of the Kevyn Adams guys, like Bo Byram and Jack Quinn, downright bad hockey players this year. Like Quinn's had some moments. Bo Byram's really bad. And then you have like the Alex Tuch situation, like what you do with that, because Alex Tuch, again, especially like considering that he was the part of the get at least in the Eichel trade, like does Kevyn Adams have more of an attachment to keeping him and potentially overpaying him than someone like Jarmo would? Like, I like the fact that we have a guy that is not inherently tied in with the culture or the players on the roster. But again, it's the Buffalo Sabres, man. It doesn't matter. Something's always gone wrong. So we'll see. But again, step in the right direction.
It's the first day of the rest of the Buffalo Sabres life.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything. Daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.